Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in September getting the barley planted in our field. And if you're wondering why we're using GPS, one, it's fun to do it occasionally, but most importantly, if you take a look in the top right corner, we are broke. We bought that field last episode. We poured all of our money into expansion. We committed to expanding our farm before saving money for our loan. And guys, we didn't quite have enough to pay it. So we are in debt today, which means we cannot afford to have a worker do this for us. So we are doing it ourselves, which is fine. Happy to do the work. And we'll bounce back. I'm not worried about it. We have some good sales coming up next month. We've got, I believe it's the canola oil is up at its best price next month. So we'll make our money back. We're also constantly growing clover and grass. Now that we have 2 grass fields, we'll have a bunch of silage to sell. So this is a small setback, but it is the reality of the 555 Challenge. You know, I could have sold some equipment or sold some stuff early to try to get the bank account up and make everything look good, but the reality is it's a grind. And some months are not going to be great. So we're out here planting the field manually, which is just part of what we're here to do. So let's get these last couple of passes done. I may take a quick headland around the outside because I felt like it was a little narrow on the outside, like it didn't quite reach the outside edge. Man, that is having a hard time catching that. Come on. We were doing so good here, guys. Let's see. Catch the line. Turn on cruise control. All right. So I may do a quick headland around the outside. I felt like we were a little narrow on some of the corners and didn't quite get out to the outside. And since we spent all that time expanding this field, I really wanted to make sure that we get it all planted. You may also notice that our field was cultivated prior to planting. I got that done between episodes. And most importantly, I did a expansion on our new grass field, which we'll go down and see here in a little bit. I'm just going to hit this spot that I know I missed coming in on that corner. There's another one over here. We'll go around the outside of the top, because I think that's primarily where we weren't wide enough. But in doing the expansion on the grass field, you know, once the grass is in, you don't really have the ability to change the yield other than making sure your pH and your, well, I guess your lime and your fertilizer are where they need to be. So I prepped that grass field all the way up. I did lime, I did fertilizer, I did stone picking. We leased a stone picker and I rolled it when it was done to maximize our yield on that, to make sure we were getting everything out of that expansion. And since we had the stone picker leased, I thought I'd come over here and grab the stones out of this field too, and help our yield and the wear on our equipment as well. So we got this area stone picked, and since it was all prepped and ready to go, and it was a little ugly because we had some weeds growing, I thought, you know, why not just get it cultivated, get it cleaned up for the planting and good to go. And so I got this field all prepped as well. So we'll jump in the beast eventually and head down and take a look at that grass field expansion. I did commit, and one of the reasons we're in debt this morning, when I leased the stone picker, I did commit to buying a lime production for the farm. I figure if we're going to be stone picking and we need to stone pick the cornfield when it's done this year, because it has bad stones, like big, lots of stones, you know, we may as well get the lime out of it and not end up spending the money. So that is the barley field complete. Let's take a quick look over here and see. Let's get you folded up. That is a good looking field. Jumping into the PDA for a quick look here. Yeah, I mean, that we expanded the bottom of this field out quite a bit. You can see sort of where the green mark is. That's where the old field was, and that's how much we expanded it. And the little tiny strip at the top where we made it wider as well. So glad to have more barley coming on the farm. And since we have more greenhouses and some are producing wheat for our flour production, we can use all of our barley for whiskey, which is going to be good as long as we have enough corn. I'm thinking our next field might need to be another corn field. Whether we have to buy it and plant it, or buy it and harvest it and then, or buy a cornfield and just harvest it, we will see. I do want to jump out here real quick. Let's go ahead. Grow stage 3 of 4. We're in September, so we will get one more cut off of this. Let's just reset and let's get those turned off. Let's see. Just get off the field, and I guess that'll take care of it. So I'm going to park this down here for the moment so we can get it washed, because that was a dirty, muddy job. Try to take care of our equipment. But in an effort to keep everything going, we do need to get that field rolled. And I guess I'm going to have to do that manually too. So let's do the quick farm tour, and then I'll bring you back after I complete the rolling and we've done the little bit of the farm expansion tour. So the changes that we made overnight: down this way behind the old chicken coop is where we put in our lime production. Go ahead and hop out here and show that to you guys. So there's our lime production. We produced just under, I think, 2,000 liters of lime with the stones off of those fields. I think it's still running from last night. I did empty it, so we'll go ahead and turn this guy off so he's not making all that racket. And then the big grass field expansion. Let's head on down and see. Man, we got to look at all that wool, guys. We got to grab some of that wool later. So the grass field expansion, I expanded it out towards the bridge on the end. And then, here we go, jump out here for this. And all the way down to the river. I think I took out 3, maybe 4 trees. So we'll go take a quick look at that as well. No traffic coming. So this is all the existing area, and then that area I mowed, I expanded into. So starting right around here, this whole area down the hill, we added all of this that we're driving on now, and all the way down to the river. I left some of those trees on the steepest part. All this area down here, we added a full, at least a full mowing width, maybe even more. And then at this end, you remember there were 1 or 2, I think it was 1 big tree and 1 small tree that sort of came up from the river. It's right in this section right here. You know, the tree was sort of like where we are now with the beast, and it was this big island or peninsula sticking out into the field. So looking at this field on the PDA, so you guys can see, you know, there is the area we expanded. It's green on green, so it's a little hard to see, but a bunch at the left end, all the way down, and then where we are down here, where that peninsula is stuck into the field, we open that up to increase our yield. All of that is rolled and limed and fertilized and ready to go. So we are at essentially, I think, what we could accomplish without mulching, maximum yield on this grass field. And this should be in growth stage 2, right? Yeah, so this is in growth stage 2. We'll probably get a growth stage 3 cut off of this field, which won't be great. But just as far as getting some cash in for winter, I think that's going to be the way to go. Our clover should also be growth stage 3. Yes, we'll get a clover cut and a grass cut off of our main field tomorrow, and we'll let the new field grow as long as it will into winter and go from there. So that's sort of the update from last episode. Keeping things moving. I like our aggressive strategy in getting our new field and sort of pushing the financial limits that we have here. We have good productions going. We're making good money. We're just waiting for the right time to sell to make the most money. I was looking at it this morning, and some of the items, if we sold now, just to try to get our bank account back to being positive, you know, we'd be giving up between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 on the price. And, you know, if we do that 2 or 3 times, that's a whole month's payment. So sometimes we got to just live in debt a little bit and be a little bit uncomfortable and just believe in the outcome that's going to happen at the end and know that it's all going to work out. So let's go ahead and grab our roller and we sneak it out of here. This is quite the tight fit here. All right, good to go. I'm going to run down to the barley field, guys, and get this rolled. I will meet back up with you guys when that is all done. I'm going to have to do that manually, just like the planting, because, you know, hey, we're still in debt and can't afford to hire anybody. So I'll see you guys in a minute. That's a wrap on the rolling for the barley field. We did just start to get a little bit of rain here at the end of that project. So as you guys can see, we're down to negative $759. We did hit 12 o'clock and some of our lettuce sold and potentially some of our rice flour. I don't think so, but the rice is supposed to be distributed from the greenhouse to the oil mill, but because of the way distribution works, it is still also going to the flour mill. So we were producing some rice flour. I'm just not sure we're going to use that, so I set the rice flour to selling. So let's take advantage of the rain here a little bit and get some of this stuff washed off and cleaned up. We won't be using the planter again until next season, unless, of course, there's a surprise field in our future. But the barley's planted, the grass field is expanded, and I just don't see us using this piece of equipment again until fall next year for more planting. So in an effort to keep our equipment nice and new and take good care of it, let's get it washed off. We'll take this down to the shed, leave it down there. I'll park it all up later, but get it out from in front of the shop. Got a lot of mud on the tires from getting that planting done. Maybe should have done this with the K-Squad track, but, you know, the Magnum does a good job as well. So for the rest of the episode today, we've got to run over and make sure our greenhouses are topped off with water. So we'll run down there. Maybe we'll take the little case and the open trailer and grab some more wheat for the chickens and just keep them topped off. They're not burning through a lot compared to what we're putting in there, but there are quite a few chickens, and it probably is a situation where we're going to run out and not know. So I'd rather keep them topped off and not forget about it. So that'll be fine right there. Run this guy back up to the shop and get him out of the rain. We'll get the Versatile and the roller washed up and put away. Pretty simple episode today, guys. Keeping the crops moving. Just want to keep progressing the farm. Go ahead and get this door over here closed. Grab the Versatile, bring him down. Love the startup screen on the Versatile down there. Great to see the logo. Okay. This one turned off. And, oh boy, that's not at all what we wanted. Leave that tractor alone, guys. We want the pressure washer. Okay. We just used it. Okay, have to switch keys again. We talked about that the other episode. Not sure why it keeps switching which keys work the pressure washer. Must be a double key bind or something that I have. Not a big deal. We'll figure it out and get through it. So, cleaned up nicely. I don't know that we've washed our Versatile since getting on the farm, so this will be a good clean for it. Get our front arm, our front loader arms all cleaned up as well. Finish cleaning all that up. Great. Now let's see about getting this thing put back in its back corner of the shed. This is a bit of a tight parking job back here, but we will either figure it out or keep trying till we do. So let's get it run in this way. Alright, here we go. Slow and steady wins the race. Not too bad. I think we just about nailed it. Yeah. I mean, that's great, guys. That was an excellent parking job, if I do say so myself. We'll get the Versatile tucked back into its shed. Go grab the little case, case 90, and run over to the greenhouses. All right, perfect. Mostly in the shed. That's about as good as it gets for the Versatile. All right, so the little case, here we go. Got the trailer attached. Let's run on over. We got eggs to put away and wool to put away. I forgot. We got to get that out of the rain too. So we'll run down there and grab that stuff. So have a little more to do today. Thought we were just about done, but not quite. So next month we'll have grass and clover to cut here, which will give us some silage. That usually sells when we put all of it in there together between $75,000 and $80,000. So that's going to help us get ahead next month as well. Following that, we'll have the canola oil sale in November, I think is the best price for that. And then we also should have corn to harvest in November as well, so we can get all of that set up. I'm going to leave the trailer here and not have the wheat out in the rain any more than we absolutely have to, because that trailer does not have a cover. So let's go ahead and get the greenhouses topped off, or we could just hit the greenhouse with the trailer. Here we go. Crash counter increasing. Okay, let's see. Pretty good there. Not too much there either. I think this one's going to need some. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All set. Get some good filling in on this one. This is our, let's see, this is one of our wheat. This is actually the one we need to come get there for the chickens. Alrighty. Alright, and we have a little more to go into this one. Alright, so mostly topped off. That'll probably be enough to get it done for today. Just try to put a little bit in each day and keep them topped off so they don't end up getting into trouble. So so we'll run back down here and grab our Brantner trailer, which today we wish we had a rain cover on. But alas, it is what it is. We'll just run the wheat up there quickly to the chickens and get them all situated. So, grab this. I got to figure out what we're going to do to get all that wool and those eggs into storage. The eggs, we can certainly use the beast. The wool, I'm not sure if the beast will hold that much wool. We'll have to figure it out. One of the things I really like about these greenhouses is you can put the blockades up like back there, and it prevents them from spawning stuff. So when you're doing bulk products like wheat, you don't have to worry about getting a whole bunch of pallets of wheat and get it out of the spout, which is just so much nicer to drive a trailer down and grab it. So, one of my favorite greenhouses in the game. Alright, so we have our wheat, 10,000 liters. That should be keeping our chickens fairly well fed. We'll run up here and drop this off to the chickens. Then we will collect the wool. We also need to get the eggs and put them in cold storage. Check on the animal feed, which as I said, I think is going to be good. Just want to keep an eye on it for the TMR mix for the cows. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pallets of wool. I mean, guys, we are getting a lot of wool, which is great. Actually check and see when that sells best. I feel like it's in the spring, like maybe January or March. But let's get up here and get the chickens all fed, and then we will check in on the wool. I always have to remember to get nice and tight to this little silo to catch the trigger, because it's a little bit sensitive. Alright, so while that's working, let's take a look at the wool and see. The wool is in May, so we just missed the wool. We have 5,000 liters. Is it worth trying to take up to the spinnery? And I think the answer is no. I think we want to wait. Yeah, it's $500 per 1,000 liters better priced in May than it is right now. So we'd be passing up a lot of money to get that sold. Canola oil is going to be best. It says December, but we always know time-saving stock check. It's 1 month beforehand. So we know that'll be best in November. So we've got a couple of months on that. But we're going to have 100K in canola oil, which if we sold right now, we'd be at 83. We're losing, and we're going to lose $10,000, $15,000 to that. So let's run over and grab the beast. We'll get our eggs. Take them down to the cold storage. Maybe do a little in-cab driving. Alright, let's see. We need to set this up so it only grabs the full pallets, which I never remember how to do. T? Nope, it's not T. Let's see. Are we on the right route? Page up, stack, container type. Yeah, it's not changing, so we are going to get out and do that loading manually because we don't want to grab that partial pallet. That is something we want to leave to be filled up by the chickens over the next day or so. Throw some straps on. It'll be tight getting out of here. And get all the menus turned off, and away we go. Man, we have chickens just all over the driveway, guys. Love it. Okay. So the eggs come down here to the cold storage. Throw the straps off. Great, that one was taken. So down here we've got 2 pallets of eggs and 20 pallets of bread out of the 400 total pallets can be stored down here. There is some more bread we could go pick up. I don't think we'll do that today, but there is more room to store it when we need to. So head down. I think it's going to take a couple of trips with the wool. We'll get all that put in. I'm not sure if I want to do anything with the wool, like take it to the spinnery and have it turned into fabric so we can then, you know, have clothes made. I mean, it just seems like a lot of work. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. I suspect, guys, this is going to be a bit of a full load. So let's see, since my auto load is not cooperating with selecting the full items only, we'll get this stuff loaded up by hand here real quick. And there's 2 and 3. We're going to be so tall with all this wool. Oh boy, the beast is going to be pushed to its limit. Let's not take any corners at any kind of high rate of speed. We will simply just tip over. It'll be that easy. Now here, guys, here is the piece de resistance. The piece that goes, the pallet that goes all the way up to the top. This is going to be so silly looking, guys. I suspect we have our thumbnail for this episode. So let me grab that and I'll see you guys in 1 second. Well, here we go, guys. Let's take a look on the outside. Yeah, we are. We are in absolute ridiculous fashion. Before we take off, how much goat's milk do we have? 789 liters. Getting close to our first pallet of goat's milk as well. We are going to take our first corner on the uneven ground in the goat pasture. Nice and easy. Run the wool back over. Man, this thing feels super tippy, guys. Not sure this is exactly how we should be doing this, but we will figure it out. So let's drive up here. Oh yeah, that's definitely not trying to pull us over at every turn. You know, the beast looked big in the shop and I love this thing, but it does, I wish the bed was just a little bit bigger, maybe 4 pallets fit on it, but then it'd be a truck and we wouldn't be able to zip around. So that is all right. So here we go. We have the leaning tower of wool coming down the hill. Nice and easy under the shed. Get the wool out of the rain. And here we go. Pop off the straps. Love this shed, guys. It does just a tremendous job of organizing and storing everything. And I love mods. Storage mods where you can see everything that you have in it. It's all visual. So 5 pallets of wool, 62 hay bales, 8 corn stalk bales, 44 straw bales, 119 bales out of the 550 capacity. So we are using that barn or that shed very well. Love to see we're getting more manure on the farm so we can use that for fertilizer, help us save some money. But guys, I think we're going to call it there. That was just sort of running around doing farm work today. Glad we got the barley planted. Glad we got the barley rolled. We got a bunch of equipment washed and put away, which is good and important for taking care of it long term. We got the greenhouses topped off. We got the chickens fed and the eggs and the wool collected. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. And I'll see you in the next one.